Welcome back, everyone, to another market closing live stream. Well, let's see what the heck the market is doing now. It is the last 30 minutes we got in this market before the darn market is closed again. Don't get me wrong, I like the weekend, but I also like playing around with stonks. I like it a lot, okay? We did well today on Clove. Sold Clove at, what was it, 950 something? I'll pull it up so we know exactly what it was. It was like 953 or something. It wasn't at the top, but I was looking at it like I've been having this challenge where I day trade with like 60K, which I know is a good amount. And sometimes I'll do 30 in one, 30 in another. Sometimes I'll do like 20, and sometimes I'll do all 60. In this case on Clove, we went in with all 60. Actually, it doesn't even show the, it would show the history here. Yeah, there it is. This case, I went in with all 60 and took about $6,600 of profit, which is not bad because now our day trade spreadsheet is like, I don't know, it's up like 21 grand on just a handful of day trades, maybe 10 day trades, which that's not bad, especially since I'm actually showing like the screenshots for all of my my buys and sells. But anywho, I'll quickly pull that here just so that stays consistent. So this was the sell order on Clove there at 956. So we got a little bit of grab there. You know, we were talking about this a little bit in the morning live stream too. The well, there are a couple things. I'm going to pull up the Bloomberg again here, but we were talking about this in the private live stream this morning that with Clove, first of all, I was looking at it. The momentum was slowing down. Volume was slowing down, so I'm like, do I want to hold this over the weekend? And for a day trade, the answer to that was no. So let's see. Let's pull up. I'm going to pull up the Bloomberg terminal. And then the Bloomberg terminal, there's some suggestions that maybe the S3 Partners data has not fully updated how many shares are outstanding. I think the shares short is correct, but possibly that could have had a little bit of an implication too in the signal for percent short. So that perhaps it's not fully short 148%, which is very misleading. And I blame S3 Partners for that. But it could have something to do with the SPAC here. So we'll pull it up. We'll pull it up in a sec. But anyway, let's go ahead in the meantime. And I just want to give you an update on that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and pull out get onto, what is it? Some of the other things going on here. So what else do we have going on? So pulling up this chart. What do we have? We have Zom. Zom is just getting crushed. It sucks. Zom is down 12% again. And I mean, it has just been down here over and over and over again. Robinhood didn't close my option. Oh, man. That's a bummer. Yeah, I don't know. Robinhood's been a little fussy lately. But anyway, Zom's down 12%, 9% down on pins. Not so good there on pins today, although it is trying to recover. Looks like it hit lows of somewhere around $76, which is about where it is right now. 75.33 lows at the morning, trying to recover all day and possibly going up a little high here. But yeah, definitely a weird market where you've got a lot of the momentum stocks, even Voyager Digital here, down substantially, down 8%, way off that 29 that we had. Playboy Group down 7.5%. Naked's down. Riot's down. Open Doors down. Let's see. Where's Coin? Let's grab Coin. Let's see what we got going on here. But I do want to increase my position in Coin. Of course, now it's green. 339. We got. We never really hit lows again since this morning, where we were in the 320s. Yeah, we opened up around 321. Never really got down to those levels again. Now at 337, 39 actually on Coinbase. Dogecoin pulling back a good chunk here. We've got Dogecoin is down to around 32 cents right now. So it's up 20%, down 32 cents. We've got Clove is still doing well. This is about where we bought it. So it's about, what did I buy it for? Bought it for 858. So it's right there. It's literally right at 858 or 859 right now. So it's literally where it was bought. But yeah, I'll pull up that S3 data in a moment. I'm shocked with the S3 data because it still shows 148%. But remember, we were looking at, and we did this morning on the public stream, we were looking at the 10K, and then we were looking at the amendment that they had like 448 million shares outstanding. S3 only shows them having like 38 million shares short, which that'd be like 8% short. So it's really interesting. I don't know what's going on with the math there. So we took some chicken tendies, and we did that this morning on the course member live. We've got, let's see what else we got here. Plantronics is up, Plug Power's up, very good food companies up 4.7% today. Levi Strauss up, Levi's in other words. Arrival's up 5.5%. Arrival's really sold down here, huh? Let's go to the day chart here on Arrival. What we got here? Day chart on Arrival had a lot of euphoria going into the 30s and pretty much plummeting down to about 12. It's at $13.99 right now. I want to pull up Arrival. Let me see if I can get into the Bloomberg really quick. One sec. Loving the terminal still. I keep trying to like use other platforms to see like to compare, but I don't know. Like the terminal is just addicting to use. They do a really good job. I got nothing bad to say about them except for it's pricey. But so Arrival. So they completed their SPAC. I know that. Let's see. Commercial electric vehicles. Yeah. Vans and buses. That's right. Vans and buses. And then I think there was an IKEA order this morning. Who was the IKEA order with? Hold on a sec. Let's see. What was the IKEA order? We were talking about this earlier last night. I guess it's not really earlier. Light Electric. That's right. NGA. But Arrival's actually popping today. About 5%. All right. Let's see here. So let's go back to the sticks. What else we got here? Yeah, Arrival's up 5%. Coinbase now up 5%. Sandy Munro's review of the Volkswagen's hilarious. Just admit I want Doge to crash. I don't want Doge to crash. No, I mean, because I won't buy it if it crashes. I don't want it to crash. I don't want people to lose their money. I'd rather see it go to $1 by 420, right? It's in 4 days. 420 is in 4 days. Ubiquity's up 2.3. Enphase 2.8%, but still sitting there at that 150. Disney 187. Amazon's up 0.5%. It was red earlier. Etsy sticking at that 220. Tesla stuck at 740, which is certainly way better than where it was in the 600s. Take it. Apple 134. No real movement here. No, it's really, again, it's just the momentum plays here selling off again. Either momentum or SPAC. It's almost redundant to just read some of this off. Although I will say Upstart at 105. This is getting cheaper here. Big tech earnings outlook. Let's take a listen here.
Some tough comps as people stayed indoors during the height of the pandemic. Does this stock still work?
Yeah, I think it does, but I'm more nervous about, Sarah, I'm more nervous about Netflix going into the June quarter. The one trip up here is that I think the net sub ads, which is what the stock trades off. So
hey, shout out here to Peter. Really grateful. Lost my job last March as a project engineer in oil and gas while my girlfriend was 5 months pregnant. So I decided to start a 3D virtual tour business and haven't been happier. That's amazing. Shout out, Peter. That's awesome. Congratulations, man.
Great for the back.
And knock on wood for the best health for your child.
One final question. So
assuming you mean last March, 2020 March.
Focus on the names that are super geared towards advertising revenue. Which is your top pick of those and why?
Just barely Facebook over Google. Both benefit from very strong macro recovery, kind of structural step up in demand for online advertising because of COVID, and they both still have secular tailwinds. Facebook is slightly less expensive.
Kevin, love your videos, but you got to stop dogging the Dogecoin. I don't think I'm dogging it. Like I'm all for the thing going to $1. I think that's awesome, and I'm excited for it to happen. My only concern is that people look at their account and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I have life-changing amounts of money," and then they don't act. That's the only concern I have. But if it's not life-changing amounts of money, you're in it to win it. That's fine. If you're a hodler, it's fine. All right, let's see what we got over here. I encourage hodling. You all know that. You all know I don't like selling. How to solve the global chip shortage? Do we care?
Plant 24/7. And that water went through our plant and was purified. First of all, you don't get the water dirty. You get the water slightly contaminated, and that purification is not that hard. That water was purified and was then put into a lake right next to our plant, a lake on which there was a game warden station. So that water was pure enough to drink. So so we, in effect, were a method of moving water up through our plant into a lake. And recycling is really the issue. And if they're not doing that, they should be. There could be a problem when they try to develop it. But there's no reason, for example, that the water that their plants use, instead of getting wasted, would go right into a system, get purified, and be used as a general water supply. And they would actually be part of the system.
Okay. TJ, you now have government saying we've got to step in here. I know you don't feel that this is a problem that can be solved with government money. What is the solution here? And when you hear presidents, both Trump and Biden,
let's just listen to the solution. We'll go back to the sticks.
Security issue to be facing the shortage, is it, or is that hyperbole?
It's hyperbole. What's happening now is some companies have a shortage of cars. Toyota doesn't. Toyota just did better management of its inventories and had a safety supply of chips. Some companies are short on cars, and some American consumers will have to wait for a few months to buy their car instead of getting exactly the model they want right now. Hardly a national security problem. Now, to me, a more important problem is when you shut down a car plant. A car plant, you're looking at a giant plant in 100 acres that employs 5,000 to 10,000 people. Putting 10,000 people on the street is a big problem, and having the economy take a hit, because that, to me, is a security problem. But that problem is going to get solved by the free markets. Look, our government, think about it. Our government couldn't get masks and test to us on time during the COVID thing. This is one of the most complex industries in the history of the world. They're not.
All right, we're going to pull back on this talk about the chip shortage here. Let's go jump into Weeble again. By the way, just so you know, generally, I would say 99% of the time, I don't post my buys and sells on Twitter, but I did post my sell of Clove on Twitter. So if you're not following me there yet, consider it, at Real Meat Kevin on Twitter. All right, what else do we have? Okay, Voyager Digital. Yeah, Voyager Digital is just getting... It's really everything crypto except for Coinbase. I really think Coinbase, while the thought was it was going to help these other companies, it actually hurt because people took money out of them and moved it over to Coin. It's not a big surprise. But that's kind of what's been going on here. Yeah, nice sort of rally into the close here. I think we're hitting new support levels on Coin. So if I zoom out a little bit here on Coin, let's see what we got here. So let's go to the hour chart and just see what kind of supports we get here. Yeah, see, look at that. We're really bouncing off 320 often now. I know we went down briefly to 315 a few times, but it really seems like 320 is almost the bounce level now. See over here, this was on the original day. We went down to like 113, 110, something like that. But we're really not revisiting 315 too often. Here's a 315 revisit way down here. But really shelving around 320. Occasionally we dip below. So I'm really thinking Coinbase potentially, if people are looking for entry points, 330, it's still way cheaper than the way I value it, 3-4 years out. I really don't think you can go wrong under this number. My basis on this thing's like 353. So even if I bought right now, I'd be lowering. But I don't know, I'm being a little greedy about maybe wanting to get in at around 320. Mostly because I've got a good chunk of margin that I'm trying to pay off. So it's like I'm not really like chomping at the bit to get more shares, because more shares right now mean margin, right? Coin is overrated, maybe. Can finally afford your course thanks to the real estate market. Oh, well, I'm excited to have you. That's awesome. Thank you for saying that. So I realistically, I try to keep the price of my course really inexpensive for what you get, especially with the private live streams every day. I mean, $400 or $420 or whatever. I think people who do private live streams, oftentimes they're charging like, I don't know how people do it. Sometimes they charge like $2,000 or $3,000. And I'm like, what? That much money? I don't know. I'm not adding to Clever. No. So the thing about the cannabis stocks is cannabis stocks are extremely cyclical. And so it's either they're in favor or they're not. I mean, it's kind of like what we're feeling with EV right now, right? EV is just not in favor right now, as things sort of unwind a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Somebody's saying that FactSet is okay. What's FactSet? FactSet. They believe the short interest is on Clove is this high. Really? I don't know about that. Let's see here. FactSet short interest Clover Health. Fintel. This isn't FactSet. I don't know. It's a little confusing. Here's Barron's. Let's see what Barron's says. Yeah, but Barron's might be giving us old data too. This volume. The big question is the amount of shares outstanding. See, here it says 143 million shares outstanding. Well, see, and if the short interest is 38 million, see, everybody's got different information. See, here they have percent of float 146% as well. This is so weird. Look at that. 146% of float, but shares outstanding 143. So what's the float? Clover Health float. Share float. Hindenburg Research. Huh. Well, I don't know if I trust Hindenburg, but somebody just sent a good thing from Hindenburg. Take a look at this regarding Clover. Hindenburg, what's their thing? Res? At Hindenburg Res. Why can I not find that? All right, whatever. Somebody linked it here. Take a look at this link. A course member just linked this. Thank you. Shout out to, what is that? Jake? Jake, shout out. Jake, so the premise of a squeezing Clove today appears to be a data error. Interesting. It looks like FactSet erroneously removed CEO Vivek's Class B shares from the Class A float calc. From FactSet in the recent 10K. Yeah, this is how many shares he has. Vivek, physician. I don't know. It's very confusing. I don't like confusion. How about that? Let's keep it that simple, okay? When it comes to Clover, I do not like confusion. I'm out. It's that simple. Especially on a trade. Like the last thing I want on a trade is lots of confusion. It's a buy and hold. I'll buy into confusion all day long because confusion goes away over time. All of the ARCs are down about 1.5%. We got 10 minutes to the close here on a Friday. Let's see where coin is sitting right now. Coin right now. Oh, we got it up right here. 339. So roughly that same 5% where we have been. Very good food company. Talked to the CEO yesterday. Your course is highly underrated. It's way more value than I paid for it. Amazing. Oh, thanks, Jacob. I appreciate that. No, mine is lifetime. Like I don't make you pay recurring fees. I think recurring fees. Actually, one of the things I talk about in my course is the danger of recurring fees and how they keep you broke. So it'd be a little hypocritical if I charged like large recurring fees. Now I know there's a recurring fee on like this chat here, but it's so nominal. So okay, what else is going on? And there's no other way to do it. Like if there could be a way to do a one-time payment on this chat, I'd do that. I'm just trying to keep the scammers and the spammers out. So the scammers and like the Bitcoin scammers and the spammers, they don't want to pay $4.99. Anywho, where were we? So look at the chargers. They've just been selling straight down here. Let's go to day chart. But yeah, to make that clear, no, the course is one time, and you get that access to all the content lifetime. Okay, so what do we have here? So we're at 45. Yeah, we've really been selling down. This was back when it was Switchback Electric, really selling down substantially. We had a run here from the lows. I remember this. This was like a Monday. All of a sudden we U-turned and everything started running. And we're really just going back to some of those lows. If we get back to under 20 on ChargePoint, could be an interesting opportunity to start buying some of the chargers again. I like the what's it called? Chargers basket. If you go to metkevin.com/chargers, course loot boxes. Oh my gosh, loot boxes. Yeah. Am I adding to GHVI? I've got a really good position in GHVI right now. I don't want to keep adding to it at this point just because it's so fat. Danny's question? What's Danny's question? Buying a second investment home or throwing in stocks? Yeah. Coin is dropping for the close in GameStop. We'll take a look at that. I think if you can get a good deal on a house, buy it. Totally buy it. Oh, yeah, you got a little bit of drop there on coin, but this is nominal. Let's look at GameStop and Doge. When am I doing another shave challenge? Yeah, that's what we should do. You know what we should do? Why don't we just make it right now? How about we set a Tesla target? Tesla shave target. If Tesla is not at a certain price by the end of the month, should it just be 750? It's going to be 750 by the end of the month, don't we think? Okay, let's run a poll. Let's do a poll right now. Okay? All right, we'll do it. Or should we give it more time? Should we go into May? I don't know. I think 2 weeks is fair. Isn't 2 weeks fair? 2 weeks is fair. 800? I hear a lot of 800. All right. Here, this is what we're going to do. When should Kevin fully shave the beard? And caps. So when Tesla hits Tesla 800 by May 1. When should okay, it should be shave unless. Shave the beard unless. So we shave unless Tesla hits a target, okay? So shave the beard unless. Shave the beard. Wait, I should say if Tesla. This is complicated. Should Kevin fully shave? No. I liked what we had. When should Kevin fully shave the beard? Fully shave the beard if Tesla is not 800 by 5.1. There we go. Okay. Tesla is not 900 by 515. Ooh, okay. What else should we do? Doge is not $1 by 5.1. BTC is not 100K by 6.1. Yeah, there we go. Wait, what's the CPI release? Wait. We'll do the Bitcoin date for the next CPI release. Okay, that's what we'll do. So CPI data, I don't know when it next comes out. CPI. Oh, got it. May 12th. 5/12. Yeah. What do you think? Are those good? The beard makes you more distinguished. The beard gives you 200 plus reputation points. It'll come back. Sundial by 420. Clove hits 20. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's run this poll. Elon, let's tag Elon because why not? Elon, which are you picking? I don't think he watch he goes for Doge. I don't think he'll respond to that. It could be like SEC compliance issues, but we'll do it anyway. Why not? Okay, so I posted So, by the way, thank you again. We are at 100,000, over 100,000 followers on Twitter. So, when should Kevin fully? By the way, look at what I posted here. Look at this. Housing prices are unaffordable. Will/should housing prices fall? Choices. Affordability doesn't matter. Quality loans and rates matter. If quality loans exist, prices will only fall when rates go up. Prices have to come down if average person can't afford. It's a massive bubble. Literally even. Like, I could not have picked a more indecisive poll. I think you mean the beard is superpower. Thank you for the $10. Maybe I just have to trim it. But I just haven't really been doing anything. Nobody took their money out of crypto mining stocks to buy coin. Delusional. So Tone Lock thinks I'm delusional for suggesting that some of the other crypto stocks sold off to buy coin. Okay. And now he's very, very, very passionate about that too. All right. Yeah, or dropping margin. That's another good bet too from the video we did yesterday. How low will margin go? All right, we got 2 minutes left to the close. Let's see what we got on the polls. Whoa. Whoa. It looks like we're going to be at a Doge bet here. Oh, wow. It looks like we're going to be competing for the Doge. That's interesting. Well, we'll see. If you don't want it to be Doge, you're gonna have to jump in and vote on this, okay? All right. All right, so we got 90 seconds to the close. Where's GameStop is down 1.2%. We've got Coin's still up 5.4%. Pinterest down substantially here, 9.5%. Riot's down, BNGO's down, a lot of momentum pain. AMC gave up its gains yesterday. Big pain. We got pain over here. Cloudflare as well. Lots of pain in the market. MP Material has just been down every single day. Churchill's at 1950. Oh my goodness. We're about to get to some of my original costs on this one. That's incredible. Yeah. Well, at least it's not like mega upside down. Not that it really matters. I really think EV is just so unfavored right now. When Tesla hits 1,000, all of these EVs are going to jump big, is my guess. Yeah. All right. We're about to close. Let's tune into the closing bell. Quickly, we're going to look at this poll again here. We're at 4. Yeah, Doge. If Doge is not $1 by 5-1, that's 2 weeks, folks. 2 weeks.
S&P and 0.5% for the Dow. The Nasdaq Composite is just in positive territory, which it hasn't been the case for the whole session, up 0.1%. Materials, the best performing sector today, up over 1%. The worst performer is energy, down 1%, and tech is just negative as well. Banks, very mixed performance so far for the day and the week. Wells Fargo up 8% this week, whereas you've got the likes of Morgan Stanley down 2.5%. For the week. There goes the close, Sarah, and at the close, a record close for the S&P 500 up 0.3%, the Dow up 0.5%, Nasdaq just positive at the close. All of those averages up more than 1% for the week.
A strong finish, capping off a very strong week for stocks. Welcome back, everyone, to Closing Bell. I'm Sarah Eisen, along with Wilfred Frost and Mike Santoli, CNBC Senior Markets Commentator. Double record close, the Dow closing up 166 points, 0.5%, and at a new record high. Closed above 34,000 yesterday for the first time ever, solidly above there as well. We had a shift into the value and cyclical names, which helped some of the larger cap stocks, and the S&P 500, which closed at its own record high of 0.4%. Wilfred said materials the best sector. The only two losing sectors of the day were technology and energy, but for the week, every single sector closed higher. Utilities actually came up on top, along with materials. The Nasdaq finished up about 0.1%. It's not too far off from its own record high. Also closed higher for the week. Its third positive week in the last 4. And the Russell 2000 closed up 0.25 percentage point, which makes it a full percent for the week for the small caps. Treasury yields have cooled off a bit recently after a huge run up to start the year. Coming up, Bridgewater's co-chief investment officer for sustainability on why she thinks rates will remain low and some of the opportunities that could create for investors. And we are just moments away from President Biden's news conference with the Prime Minister of Japan. We will take you live to the White House as soon as that begins. Let's talk about this record close, though. Charlie Babrinskoy from Ariel Investments is still with us. Eugene Profit from Profit Investments joins the conversation. First to you, Mike. Fourth week in a row of gains for both the S&P and the Dow to new record heights.
All right, let's pull back for a moment. Let's just take a peek here. So I've got the 10-year Treasury up here. Let's go ahead and hide me just for a second here. So here's the 10-year over the last 3 days. So this is the last 3 days at the 10-year. Let's go to the last month over here. Yeah, we're definitely much low. We're lower than anywhere we have been over the last month. Let's go to 6 months here. 6 months, we're at about March 12th levels. Obviously still higher than where this began. This all began when we were around 1.34%. That's when some of this drama began. Now remember, the reason we had that initial drama, which is not exactly why the drama is continuing right now, but the initial drama came from, oops, I want to annotate this thing. There we go. Annotate. The initial drama came from the how quickly we saw this acceleration here, whereas right now we're seeing a lot of, let's go from, let's see, where was Feb 16? Yeah, Feb 16, Feb 19. You know, we're obviously a lot slower growth than we had there. This shock right here, this white line, is really what hurt the markets first, and now they've been staying down because of the SPAC tear up, pain in SPAC market, pain in momentum. You know, kind of as Nick here says, very blah day. I think that's how I say it, Nick. All right, so yeah, taking a peek at this, Pinterest almost down a complete 10%, depressing, but a little bit up in the after hours. Marathon Digital, Clever, BNGO, lots of momentum, selling off today. Lots of over 5% sell-offs here. Even Roblox selling off, Upstart selling off. Coinbase was at the other side of the spectrum here, but even Square has been falling a little bit. We've even got Peloton at 116. It's higher than what we paid for it, but the last couple days have been a little red for Peloton. CCIV at under $20. I mean, now it's just getting funny. Remember, what is it? I'd have to look what they valued the darn thing at. I can't remember what the valuation was. I have it written down somewhere. We can also pull it up really quick. Let's pull up the valuation really quick. CCIV, Lucid, merger. It was something at $15. Billion valuation. No, that's not current anymore. That's old news. It's less than, I think it was 24. Wasn't it 24 at 15? I think it was 24 billion. Company cited valuation of 24 billion. Yeah, it was 24 at 15. So 24 at 15. If you do some quick math, what are we at now? Now we're at 19. I mean, it's certainly not. Does that get us to 30? Let's see. 24 divided by 15. 1.6. 1.6 times the share price of what are we at? 1957. It's around $31 billion market cap right now. Which I wonder where NEO sits right now. NEO stock. NEO's sitting at a $59 billion market cap. NEO has basically twice the market cap of CCIV right now. XPeng is sitting at a $24 billion market cap. And obviously Tesla's like in what, the 600-700s. Yeah, 710. Interesting comparison. All right. What else we got? Oh, is this on the, do we have, what is it?
Low fives by the end of the year, and inflation running about 2.5% for the year. So I think the economy is really ready to go.
You'd think a ripping economy would prompt a Fed official to talk of easing back what is the easiest Fed policy in history. But Waller rejected that. He said while growth rates may be high, the level of growth remains below where it should be. He cited the 8 million jobs shortfall from before the pandemic. Quote, we got a long way to go, he said. There's no reason you pull the plug on our support until we're really through this. And Wilf, you know how he said 8%? I'm working on a rapid update for Monday. We have about 11 of the forecasts in. Our number is higher than that for this quarter.
Well, I was going to say, Steve, I mean, I get the arguments about potential slack in the labor market and what that might imply for wage growth. But other areas, you look at retail sales, Moynihan, similar tone to that from Waller about seeing it rip higher, amazing retail sales for this months, but getting better, not just maintaining.
So take a look at this. S3 Partners just tweeted, does the course have an intro to all of this? To a lot. Take a look at this. Backing up here. S3 Partners just tweeted. So they're doubling down. They're doubling down on their data. S3 uses FactSet to supply float data for our algorithms. FactSet's close float is 26.26 million shares and categorized as the CEO's shares as non-tradable and not in float number. S3 shares shorted 39 mil, resulting short interest of 148%. Look, it's at this point, this whole like Clove thing has gotten a little out of hand. It shouldn't be so complicated. I mean, that's nice, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not jumping up and down. Dogecoin, on the other hand, Dogecoin is still sitting in its sell-off here since its highs about 6 hours ago, which was really the morning, right before the morning open there, when we opened for almost a half a cent, or not half a cent, half a dollar. Very good food. Very nice run here after the CEO interview here, 5.56%. We got Coinbase up 5.9%, and also a little bit green in the after hours here. Big Digital ran another 3.73% today after running a bit yesterday. Tattooed's up 3% today. Under 20, it's still, like if you're going to get into a food company, it's not horrible. Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm skeptical about, like, I personally rather have my investments in some other things I have more high conviction in, especially some of the SPACs that have been selling off, like the GHIV or GHVI, VI6. It's incredible. Ubiquity 287, Enphase 150, been sitting at 150 for a bit here. Home Depot has just been a killer. Been so good, really, just during the entire pandemic. I mean, look at that. The chart has been very desirable. Let's zoom out a little bit here. As slowly as we like to zoom out. XL had over 70% short, and then data became unavailable. Buy more EXPI or GHVI. I keep saying that wrong. I think both are great. Yeah, that's interesting. So Home Depot had a really nice pandemic run, traded sideways for, oh my gosh, for 7 months. 7 months of trading sideways. And then only recently did it explode again. Incredible. What do we got over here? Hold on a sec.
Oklahoma, which has a real niche. But other than those two, we don't love regional banks.
Eugene, what about you? Are you buying the inflation story or the transitory story? And how does it impact what investments you make?
Yeah, I'm more in the transitory camp. And I think that the concern I have is if we've had a very strong vaccine rollout here in the US and the economy is opening and things are starting to go well. But you've also had the last 2 weeks an 11% increase in virus cases, and the vaccine rollout's not going so well around the world. And an interconnected global economy, I think there's a possibility that you might get some hiccups along the way. So I absolutely think we're going to have the economy ripping, as he said, here in the short term. But going out further in the year, I think that it's going to be very important to see what happens with travel over the summer. You have planes filling up. You have hotels beginning to fill and amusement parks opening, but the cruise lines are still in dry dock. And then some of the other countries are still closed. So,
what's not good is, even though Doge was trending 2 days in a row, what's actually trending right now is FOMO. That's not good. I have a feeling that might mean I'm going to be shaving the beard. So, oh, sweet. We just hit 102,000 followers on Twitter. Y'all freaking rock. Take a look at this, though. This poll's not even close. Y'all smoking me here. Like Tesla is not even in the running. I mean, maybe what I should have done is I should have combined these two. Because in fairness, we kind of split this, right? But 26.8 plus 14.7, 41.5. Doge would still be winning right now. Doge would still be kicking butt right now. So it looks like, I probably shouldn't, in fairness, have had two Teslas here. Oh, well. I have a feeling this is the deal we made. And so I have a feeling that we are having a Doge bet. All right, so we're still waiting for Biden to speak. Apparently, Biden will be speaking here soon. Let's just make sure we don't miss him. Biden and Japan, what are they going to talk about? Disinflation? deflation, low population growth. Biden news conference, 4:15. We know it's going to be late. It's always late. Jen Psaki, Circle Backy is talking, but this was recorded earlier too.
But done through the intelligence available and what can be assessed on that basis. Okay. Hello. So as we have announced last Friday, we're going to try to bring more people into the briefing room to ask questions and
They do it and putting Zoom people up. Anyway, no Biden yet. In the meantime, we got a closing bell on commercial. Let's give our border wall, Fox, a shot. What do we got?
Coming for businesses, and so he's doing a bunch of stuff to discourage.
Hey, it's Kevin Hassett. We haven't seen him in forever.
The tax hikes don't pass. Right now, U.S. corporations probably are thinking, well, we're going to put our expansion plans on hold because maybe they're going to increase my taxes in June or July or something, and I don't want to have built a new plant that takes 10 years to pay for itself if all of a sudden the corporate tax is much higher. And so the point is that supply effects are visible right now just because of the anticipation of these negative effects on business of Biden policies. And so while they're increasing demand, they're pushing down supply. And that's a recipe for the kind of inflation we haven't seen since the 70s. And if you're not scared about inflation, then once again, look at producer prices up 12% at an annual rate since December. Look at today, the Michigan survey. They had inflation expectations, and these are just ordinary folks, that are saying whether inflation going to be over the next 12 months. And they said 3.7%. And the thing about the Michigan survey expectation is that once people start to really expect inflation to be that high, then they go to their boss and they say, hey, my salary needs to go up too. And then you start to get into a spiral, an inflationary spiral where cost pushes it up as well.
Look, your analysis is spot on. Only reason I'm holding back for the moment on the inflation call is the dollar. I'm hopelessly wedded to the dollar exchange rate, and even near cousin, the price of gold. But I'm not disagreeing. And the inflation expectations in the bond market, the tips, you're right, they're up to about 2 1/3, 2.5%. We'll see. Not saying you're wrong, buddy. Just kind of not quite there yet. Maybe it's the opposite. Anyway, Kevin Hassett, former chief of the Council of Economic Advisors. Doesn't get any smarter than that. Thanks, buddy. Up next on Kudlow. Team Biden's going to make it harder to get its own proposal.
I mean, it's an interesting argument. I don't know. Are companies sitting on their hands because they're worried about maybe taxes going up? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I feel like companies are too busy worried about being competitive with each other than worrying so much about taxes potentially. But look, I mean, corporate taxes are what they are. And I'm sure there's a lot of lobbying going on to keep them lower, especially the minimum tax on something like an Amazon, right? No. Anyway, let's hop on over. I mean, look, fundamentally, you raise the corporate tax rate, stocks should go down, right?
There isn't a lot of risk premium to earn, are slowly being shaken out as the rates come up a little. And increasingly, it makes sense for investors to look out at places like, for example, emerging markets, diversification, or more value stocks, places where they still believe there's risk premium to be had.
Karen, to what extent do you think that U.S. Treasuries are being driven by the rate environment around the rest of the world? And is that only going to be a temporary factor? And thus, could we be taken a little bit by surprise later in the year?
Well, the sign of the paradigm we're in really is that central banks all around the world have a lot of incentives lined up to lag the economy, to lag the recovery. So central banks sort of fall into two categories. Either they really haven't gotten a great recovery yet, for whatever reason, the vaccines are not coming through yet, or they haven't done a great job managing it, or they're like the US and the economy is pretty clearly coming back, roaring back. But even in the cases the economy is roaring back, all the incentives are lined up after a decade plus of very low inflation to basically say, let's let this go, let's lag the economy. And that's going to keep being probably the most important driver of markets, the fact that central banks are so wanting to lag the economy. And in some sense,
Okay, we're going to pull back off this. Let's listen to Bloomberg for a moment.
Rumors out there about a small short squeeze going on within the Treasury market. Do we have any?
I thought they were going to talk about Clover.
Point rally in one day as we all thought yields were rising.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to still be the mix of it. Overnight, there was a good bid overnight during Asian hours. It seemed like I mentioned, the foreign demand coming in. And then it just seemed like a buildup of a short squeeze. And another piece of what I've heard, which I think also makes a lot of sense, is either you were short and maybe you're saying, oh, goodness, I need to get out. Or people were sitting on the sidelines, kind of flush with cash, thinking, oh, I'm going to get another opportunity. Yields are going to go higher. I can buy cheaper. And then they didn't. And people might be thinking, is this the worst over? I want it to be invested. I just got to get in, even if I'm buying at a higher price. So I think there was some of that dynamic. That was some of the chatter as well, either a short squeeze and people saying, I've been waiting, keeping my powder dry. I better just jump in. I want to own some treasuries.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens next week as things kind of quiet down on the economic data front. Of course, on the Fed speak front as well. Liz McCormick, Bloomberg senior FX and rates reporter.
I mean, in fairness, we have had a lot of data coming out over the last couple of weeks here. I mean, these inflation expectations on top of actual inflation data, the CPI, the producer price index obviously shot up. But anyway, Raul Castro is going to resign.
The employment market was extremely.
Sends an era of formal leadership by the Castro brothers dating back to the 1959 revolution. No word on his successor, but previously he has indicated he favors handing power to current President Miguel Diaz-Canel. China is the focus this afternoon as President Biden and Japan's Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga meet. Since taking office, the person meeting with a foreign leader. China's shadow will loom large over almost every topic the leaders discuss, including human rights, Taiwan, and supply chains. The 19-year-old man who police say fatally shot 8 people last night at a FedEx facility in Indianapolis has been identified as a former FedEx employee. FedEx spokesperson Ronnie Harrison released that information today. She said the company officials can't speculate on a motive, but are working closely with investigators. That gunfire broke out at the FedEx facility near the Indianapolis airport. The gunman took his own life. Indianapolis Police Chief Randall Taylor also noted that a significant number of employees at the facility are members of the Sikh community. Mayor Joe Hodgson noted that last night's violence was the 3rd mass shooting in Indianapolis this year.
Wow.
Nothing we learned.
All right, we're going to pull off that. We're going to stick to the sticks here. Stick to the sticks, and eventually Biden will talk here. Please let us use Dogecoin to buy. Can't you? I mean, like, can you send, does Gemini take it or MetaMask? If Gemini or MetaMask take it, you can do it. I don't think Gemini does. Just look at what the price is and send the proper amount and then email me. I don't think Gemini does. So it can't be Gemini. It would have to be MetaMask, which is also where we're selling the NFT for my half for charity. Go to Buy the Dip, the Buy the Dip NFT. Go to, what is it? Can I buy it on here? Let's see. Go to rarible.com/realmeatkevin. Can you buy Doge on MetaMask? Yeah, I know it's a wallet, but I mean, like, so I mean, like, can I guess the question is, can I receive it there? Because I know I can like go shopping with MetaMask on with Ether, and I can also add cash and get Ethereum, right? Like if I add cash, they give me Ethereum. You can accept to your MetaMask Doge address. We got a cash. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, here. Send me your Doge. Sure. We'll just manually enroll you. It's fine. Okay, so how do I do this? Add funds. So I'll put up the QR code really quick, and then I want to get back to because Biden's going to speak in a moment here too. Supposedly, he's regularly late though. So, but all presidents seem to be. Okay, so this is the QR code. So you can pause the video and grab that. And then the share my public address is that right there. But gosh, I mean, that's a lot to type. Hopefully you could just use the QR code. Yeah. Another place you can copy and paste it, by the way, is if you go to rarible.com without an extra A there, rarible.com/realmeatkevin. If you went to Rarible, you can also, hold on. Yeah. See here, this is the same wallet address. So you could literally just go here and click copy, And so that's my MetaMask. So if you want to Dogecoin it, do it. And here's the buy the dip Rarible. But anyway, yeah, rarible.com/@realmeatkevin. And if you want to pay for the program in Doge, just look at the price, take off the coupon amount, and then email me after. Just reply. Well, it's kevin@meetkevin.com. Anyway, okay, so after hours. Let's do an after hours look here. So after hours, all stocks, we've got GNOG's down, Clove's down 2% here. Oh, are they talking now? Hold on. Waiting. Seriously? The CNBC, you can't do breaking news and then go to awaiting. Like, what's up with that? The real Kevin taking the fake Kevin business. What fake Kevin business? You look so young on that thumbnail. Which thumbnail? I'm confused. Is there a thumbnail here somewhere? I don't know. Anyway, so where were we? They're all confusing me here. GNOG down 2.4%. Clover's down 2%, but still up 20%. I mean, it's still above what I bought it for. Nano Dimension, Arcimoto, and it could run. I mean, if that short data ends up being right, who knows? Maybe it'll run. Nano Dimension actually tried recovering today, giving back some in the after hours here. Enphase giving up a little in the after hours again as well, 148. Shift is at like 758, which is crazy. NGA 15. I mean, so many of these things. Man, I just wish I had like a ship ton of more money. Ship, S-H-I-P, like a ship. Like I wish a ship came in and just gave me a bunch of tendies, and then we could go shopping at some of these cheap SPAC deals. My goodness, they have sold off. It's juicy. What's Coin doing in the afters? Let's see here. COIN. Coin's up 0.06 in the afters and up, 5% on the day. So Coin did very well. I have no idea where the darn thing went, but oh well. Well, Dogecoin right now is 36 cents. Workhorse went up 13% today. Look at that. Very good food company went up almost a full 8% here after that, the day after that CEO interview. It's incredible. Shift was actually a SPAC. Yeah, SFT was a SPAC. What else here? Moderna, Coinbase, Purple trading around 35. Nice. Wells Fargo, big digital assets up again. Enphase, Arcimoto. Arcimoto needs some love. Simon Property Group at 117 is incredible. Canopy, Target. It's such a throwback. Simon Property Group is literally like a 1-year throwback. It's scary. Think like a year is gone, has evaporated. That's nuts. Nutso. All right. Zom, Playboy, Pinterest, Marathon. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's pop on over. Let's see what other news there is. Is Biden going to end up speaking now or not? Let's pop on over really quick. All right. So what do we got here? That does not look like Biden. Biden shortly. Sure. Haven't heard that one before. Shortly, it ends up being like 5 o'clock Eastern. Supposed to start 10 minutes ago. All right, let's listen in for a moment here.
Back with the J&J vaccine. I know you've been on a bit earlier on the week to discuss this, but sum it up for us. Has this been a gross overreaction, or do you support the act?
Third dose likely, expect annual booster. What?
I think it was prudent for the FDA to take a close look at this. And a lot of the J&J vaccine was used in the last 3 weeks. So 50% of the doses that were delivered were in the last 3 weeks. So if there are these rare side effects associated with the vaccine, they're going to identify it this week and probably next week. You're going to be able to find. I think it's prudent for the FDA to try to fully characterize this. I do believe this is an important product. I believe even if this is a rare side effect associated with the vaccine, it's going to come back to the market, perhaps.
Okay, we're going to jump on over to Fox for a sec. Oh, apparently not. Okay, then. I guess that means we have to jump to Bloomberg. Housing starts soar.
That is.
The housing data came out today. That's right.
And
we were expecting this to skyrocket.
Getting back on track after those winter storm-related setbacks. And Morgan Stanley, the story of the day, big surprise for investors in that first.
I want to look up housing starts. I know Morgan Stanley got screwed. Housing starts. That's exciting. Let's see what's going on with housing starts. U.S. housing starts. All right, let's see here. At the same time, I'm going to keep this up just in the event we get Biden speaking. Not yet, though. Still waiting for Biden. All right, so what do we got in the meantime? U.S. housing starts. By the way, speaking about housing, if you want to find deals off market, consider going to metkevin.com/deals. Deal Machine will give you a special for when you sign up. So check out Deal Machine to get in touch with sellers before they go on the market. Robinhood says system outage, result of spike in Dogecoin trades. Dogecoin trades. We suspected that earlier, though. In fairness, that is what we said earlier. Like, Robinhood is an easy place to jump in on the Doge right now. Yeah, except as is typical, they had an outage. So if that's recovered now, I wonder if more people are coming back. Can I private this? Private what? This is private, Kenneth. What's up, man? It's just us and, a fellow 16,900 subs. And probably only half of you are actually subscribed. And you know what? That's okay. I'm not going to ask you to smash the like button or subscribe. It's your choice. Housing starts at a near 15-year high. Consumer sentiment rises moderately. I don't really care so much about the sentiment right now. I want to focus on the home builder surge. U.S. home building surged to a nearly 15-year high in March. That's good. But soaring lumber prices amid supply constraints could limit. That's fine, as long as the starts are going up. A sharp rebound reported by the Commerce Department on Friday added robust retail sales in March and suggesting the economy was roaring back after a brief weather-related setback in Feb. I want to see the actual data. Here we go. Housing starts, oh my gosh, 19.4%. That's really good. To a seasonally adjusted rate of 1.7 million units last month, the highest level since June of 2006. Oh, just what we want, more connections back to the crisis. Economists polled by Reuters had forecast starts would come in at 1.6 million units in March. Nice. Good beat here. Starts soared 37% on a year-on-year basis in March. Home building slumped in Feb as large parts of the country reeled from unseasonably cold weather. Groundbreaking activity in the Northeast, Midwest, and South increased. Groundbreaking activity increased, but fell in the West. Permits for future home building rose 2.7%. Nice. Good. Okay. Okay, sorry, I had to say that. Okay, so anyway, housing demand is expected to remain strong. We expect it to diminish somewhat as the year progresses. Home builders continue to face supply constraints. Yep, prices of lumber, got it. Stocks, let's see. No news here. Housing market is being fueled by a bigger demand. By demand for bigger and more expensive accommodations, with millions continuing to work from home and remote schooling remaining in place. Still no Biden. Still waiting for Biden here. Housing supply has been inefficient, with inventory of previously owned homes at record lows. Home Builders Association showed confidence. Inflation concerns were on consumers' mind earlier this month. All right. Right. These were the let's see, 1 year inflation jumped to 3, the highest level nearly a decade from. Oh, okay. This actually jumped. It was 3.1 to 3.7. That's interesting. So even consumers are seeing that inflation in the 1 year range, but expecting it to come back down in the 5 year range. Wow. All right. So the good news is, well, I mean, let me put it this way. Housing starts up is nice. Thank you, Reuters, for that. Housing starts being up is nice, but the problem is it takes like 2 years, from permit to actual, like, somebody else moving in. Somebody says, is this true? Somebody says Coinbase does not have the crypto issues Robinhood does. Is that true? Any Coinbase users here having issues? Robinhood halting trading is no different than when you go to McDonald's for a drink and the line is 2 miles long. You're not going to get fast service. Some people will be waiting. But I hate it when the drink machine is down, or worse, when the ice cream machine is down. That's the worst. Robinhood is always screwing up trading when an asset is only going up. Yeah, no kidding, right? I don't know. Thank you for the 99-cent super sticker there, Danny. Appreciate it. Never had a problem with Coinbase. Good. Oh, this just jumped a lot. I can sell coins on Coin at any time. Robinhood always seems to be holding people's money. Yikes. What's going on with Plug Power? Plug Power is just another one of those that has just been really highly valued for future figures. You know, a lot of big expectations for it for, in my opinion, like 2030. All right, let's tune in here.
Weird stuff going on, and perhaps something's going on in positioning might explain why Treasury's got this bid.
And I thought the Bloomberg reporting on the short squeeze here was interesting. The way they trace a lot of this back to the Cayman Islands, which apparently is very popular with some of our hedge fund community.
All right, let's bring in Bloomberg Markets.
Why?
Reporter Kriti Gupta.
I don't know.
Yeah, why? Kriti, why? No, the real question is, and I actually have not felt that we've gotten a satisfying answer to this. Like, intuitively, it doesn't make sense that if the data just keeps beating expectations, crushed it yesterday, housing starts today, very strong, I would just expect more upward pressure on rates.
You would think so, right? And you would think that this would boost the stock market as well.
Good point. Both good points. That we're getting so much good data from everywhere. Yet stocks, a lot of stocks are suffering. Rates aren't really going up.
To a conversation that we kind of knew was going to eventually happen. I think this is really where you're hearing a lot of kind of fund managers, a lot of analysts saying, well, we're waiting for that next catalyst. What's interesting is that we've kind of abandoned that sensitivity to the jobs market, to those retail sales, things people used to watch so closely. And I mean, a 19.4 in housing starts, that's insane. That's no joke. And by the way, the answer to the Cayman Islands question is the beaches. Let's be real.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, it's not
it's
the
tax.
It's
not the beaches.
No, nothing to see here. Just the beaches.
Meanwhile, though, I mean, nothing to see here when it comes to Dogecoin, no joke. I mean, bond markets on fire with issuance too. We saw Bank of America like sort of seeing JP Morgan yesterday and saying, I'll raise you.
Absolutely. And what's so interesting, a $15 billion deal out of Bank of America. And this is, of course, coming after we already saw a year of record issuance. Now, I think the reasoning here is pretty important because of course, we know we're in a low interest rate environment. So it kind of makes sense. Borrowing costs are really cheap right now. Last year, I think, though, that issuance was a function of simply raising cash because people needed that cash. Corporate America needed that cash, from tech to airlines. They needed it to really kind of shore up their balance sheets, get in those cash cushions. Now, I think it seems to be a little bit more of a signal about where people think rates are going. And to see JP Morgan and Bank of America issue those bonds, or say they're going to issue those bonds, so that pricing I don't think has happened yet, coming right after the earnings, that really begs the question, how many other members of corporate America are really going to be kind of following in suit and getting maybe that last borrowing ability in before they can?
Yeah, and it's interesting too, because you kind of wonder what happens with the cash. I mean, the idea is some of these companies are still sitting on that cash. They haven't actually spent it just yet here. And you would think that would be a good thing. But I mean, we were talking a little bit earlier with Jason Brady at Thornburg. He seemed to express a lot of concern about this, saying that, you know, kind of the bloom is off the rose for a lot of these companies, and just having a cash pile isn't going to be enough anymore.
I know, it's so interesting because that's actually what helped a lot of these stocks in 2020. And I think you can see it not just in some of these big tech names, which I think were the havens. A lot of it was because, of course, they were the big tech names. There was a tech structural change, but also because they did have that cash, which is now actually, some of it's being deployed to electric vehicles, to streaming, what have you. Then you're seeing the other hand of it, which is airlines, for example. We get earnings coming up next week. This idea here that they have really not only increased their equity issuance, their bond issuance, but they're really just trying to keep up and pay their employees.
Oh, thanks for the $20 there, Brad. Appreciate it. I'm going to pause really quickly on this because we've just got an update that came in. Oh, and also thank you for the $10 there. Wondering how bad I blew it buying 3,000 shares in Matterport at 70. Oh, don't feel bad, Robbie. I wouldn't feel bad at all. You know, Matterport at 17, I think in the long term is great. I think you got caught right before, an unpredictable SPAC debacle. I mean, just look, every single SPAC, whether it's completed or is not, is in the toilet. So you can't feel bad. Add a few thousand shares to it and you'll bring your average down like that. But folks, we got a GME YOLO update from Deep effing value. I really need my soundboard again. But anyway, right now we got the diamond hands right here. So anywho, let's we may as well take a look at the update. So this is April 1st. What I'm showing you right now is April 1st, okay? So this is April 1. April 1 update, and it's important to know what April 1 is so you can understand the difference. So Deep F and Value had 100,000 shares worth $19 million of GameStop as of April 1st. And he had $12 calls expiring today. He had 500 of them. So I'm a little surprised he didn't sell those like earlier. I mean, maybe he did. We don't know that he sold them. They're gone now, and I'll show you that update in a moment. But then you could have capitalized on some extrinsic value. But if we do 500 times 100, that's 50,000 shares. And so if we go to the latest here, this is the latest update. The latest update is we now have 200,000 shares of GME, which means 50,000 shares were exercised, it looks like, or probably, were exercised to get into GME at $12, essentially. A little surprised because you leave the extrinsic value on the table when you do that. You know, even if you sold a week ago, you would have had a little bit more X in it. But hey, whatever. So, you know, I'm not going to question these gains. So we've got, and then it looks like he added from his cash pile another 50,000 shares. 50,000 shares at 154. That's like $7.7 million. Yeah, so he basically took from his $11 million cash pile. Yes, he had about $12 million here in cash. Added the cash to GME, and then also added shares. Wow. That's interesting. So it actually, somebody in the course just mentioned that Deep F and Value actually ran a poll to ask if he should exercise, and 74% of people said exercise all. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. All right. I mean, I think if there was, well, when did he run that poll? Oh, well, 4 days ago. Okay. Okay. Well, maybe that makes sense. So anyway, but he did add. So, I mean, you got to say, I mean, that's pretty bullish. He's now got a, oh, wow. Look, just think about this for a moment. Just for the gigs, okay? Just for the gigs. Think about this for a moment. He is now into GameStop at a cost basis of $55, which is basically triple here. Not quite, but it's almost a triple. It's 180%, like it says there. If GameStop goes back to $40, those gains would be completely gone, but he would still be up because I think before he had done some options to get up to the higher cost basis he had. Yeah, because the 30K in value, yeah, because there's still 10 million. He'd still have 10 million in it. Still substantially. Yeah, paid 11 million for it. There it is. Yeah, so still substantially up. Even if it went back to $55, he'd be at $11 million plus the 3.5 in cash. I mean, that's freaking awesome. I mean, there's the YOLO of life right there. The YOLO of this century. That's awesome. But yeah, he bought more. So good for him. You know, good for him. I do not have any GME shares anymore. Or I think I might have like a single one somewhere. But anyway. All right, so where are we? What do we got over here on Bloomberg? We're still waiting for Biden.
The geopolitical dimension.
That's just an ad. And this is creepy. This person has been here staring.
President, best major candidate. Tim, I'm going to let you.
Yeah, I don't know why, but every time I look, they're up there staring. So no Biden yet. Let's jump on over to where we go. Decipher Roy and Kitty's tweets from 30 minutes ago. Sure, we'll take a peek. I'll pull them up 1 sec.
About a potential change in direction in this super hot housing market.
Yeah, so the housing market is super hot, but I think it's justified at this point. We're coming off of one of the most underbuilt markets over the last decade. And if you compare the housing start numbers this morning to where they've trended the last 3 cycles, we're still in a good place. And if you start to couple that with a potential temper in activity due to an increase in material costs, you still have supply-demand imbalance that's going to continue to drive pricing.
What about those material costs? I mean, it's pretty extraordinary, as we just mentioned, the lumber price increase. Are the other raw ingredients as well?
Oh, sure. So, the material costs are staggering, but it's the result of the pandemic and a tight supply chain. I'm sure, as you read, as the LA port numbers got released this week, there were some container ships that sat for as long as it took them to get to the port of LA. So that's going to take a while to work itself through the system. But we have record low inventories coupled with strong demand. And honestly, I think that's symbolic of this pent up consumer demand that we are expecting to see post pandemic.
Yep.
How are you thinking, Carly, about the future of cities in America and what that might mean for buying real estate there?
Sure. So we've seen a ton of population migration out of coastal markets into the Sunbelt cities. That is not a new phenomenon that existed pre-COVID and has been transpiring for several years now. Austin, Charlotte, Raleigh, Nashville have all experienced 15 to 30% growth in population.
Yeah, I don't know what Inc. W is. Sorry about that.
Not only that, it's primarily coming from young people with room to grow and expand. So I'm here in Charlotte, where I'm based, we've had 45% growth in population age 20 to 29 over the last decade, which is just phenomenal. So I don't think it means a complete out-migration of coastal markets. I just think the population is going to be more dispersed going forward. So it's imperative that real estate investors diversify their allocations geographically going forward.
What? Are you concerned about the outlook for retail space or office space?
I'm not. Office is going to take some time to return, but like everything else,
Yeah, we're going to skip for a sec.
Retail, I actually am a little bit more bullish than some of my peers and some of my colleagues. I see those numbers as...
Is Biden talking yet? Because this is getting boring.
To apply for asylum.
Well, we've certainly seen reporting on some of the impacts of that at the Texas-Mexico border and the
Where's
New
Biden?
Mexico
Talking about the border. The border again.
Growth in sales across the board. If you couple that with a market that's been really undersupplied and underserved from an investment perspective for the last decade, it's really stacking up well, I think, for bricks and mortar investment. Everybody has talked about e-commerce over the last year, and it's true, e-commerce is here to stay and experience tremendous growth. But I think what's largely been ignored is that the real superstar was buy online, pick up in store. So same day store pickup really stood out as the winner, in my opinion, and retail investment is going to be the beneficiary of that.
It's really interesting. I know you don't talk public stocks, but that there are clearly implications investors can take when they're looking at REITs or others. Just to dig in a little bit more. So are you saying, Carly, you expect real estate in retail to actually grow? Because isn't the thinking that even if stores have proven their worth, click and collect, buy and pick up, go and have the experience, we're still overstored in this country?
We're still
Are you saying that's wrong?
No, I'm not saying that's wrong at all. So, if you look at us against any other industrialized nation, we have 5 to 10 times the amount of retail, but that's changing. There's been no new supply added over the last decade. And we estimate that about 25% of the stock will be gone and repositioned over the next 5 years. So you have a declining stock coupled with retail sales, in-store sales that are increasing. And what's going to shake out is, the story of the have and have-nots that we've seen over the last year. But again, I think it's just about being selective within the space. But I think if you're ignoring the space, then you're going to ignore some strong growth coming from retail going forward.
Interesting. Carly Tripp, thank you for joining us from Nuveen. Up next on the show, shares of QuantumScape falling yesterday after Scorpion Capital claimed the company was fraudulent. And now the company's CEO is responding. A sneak peek of his sit-down with Jim Cramer, which is coming tonight, right after the break. And we're still awaiting that joint news conference with President Biden and the Prime Minister of Japan. Running a little bit later than we thought, but we will bring it to you live as soon as it happens.
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes late. It's classic. Classic. I don't know. Do we want to wait for Biden? Does anybody want to wait for Biden? I don't know. Let me know. I did kind of put it in the title, but let me know if you want to wait for Biden. I know they put breaking news up for that. It's like, it's not breaking news to say we're waiting for him. I don't get it. I don't get it. But what I did is that when I look at my Twitter, it appears the people have spoken and Doge is taking over. We want to see Doge to $1. by 5/1. And if it's not $1 by 5/1, the beard's got to go. So maybe do a summary video. Yes. Yeah. I'm getting lots of no's and maybe do a summary. All right. Let's take a peek around, see if there's anything else going on. Vaccinations hit 200 million is on the Bloomberg. We've got nothing going on over here. We got nothing going on at CNBC. We got nothing going on at Fox, although I'm kind of assuming nothing's going on at Fox. Hold on, let's see. Oh, what is this?
Knows full well that the founding fathers were absolutely aware that this was a huge aspirational goal, but yet it was firmly planted in this democratic foundation. They didn't equivocate on it and how important equality was to them. And why she doesn't advance the successes that we've had is really dead wrong on her.
All right, let's pull off the politics. Nothing super juicy here. Just on the sticks, Yelp's up 4%. Beyond that, things are pretty muted here in the after hours. I'll even take a peek here at GME. GameStop, up about 0.5% in the afters, down 1% today. But still on that second sort of consolidation path over here. Kind of definitely experiencing a downtrend right now. Certainly, if we drew some trend lines here, even if we went from low stick to low over, Weeble wants to be sticky again. Yeah, it's certainly trending down right now. We'll see how it goes. That's a pretty bad draw. I'll redraw some better lines later. But anywho, yeah. So downtrend on GameStop, but that's okay. We're still at like 161, which is awesome, which is incredible. Otherwise, Dogecoin is at 35 cents. Pretty incredible run. Now we have a Dogecoin bet going as well, which should be very fun. Speaking of very, very good food company, almost got that full 8%. Coinbase up at 344 in the after hours. Hey, I'm almost break even at my 353 basis on that one. Still think that one's oddly cheap. I don't know what happened there. I did see the SpaceX NASA contract. Yeah, that's incredible. When SpaceX gonna IPO or Starlink? Yeah, geez, that'd be nice. I think once they start making big profits, and maybe this contract will help them make some big profits. That could do it. So we'll take one more peek here just to see if Biden's around. Otherwise, we'll have to circle back. No Biden yet. Okay, folks. Well, it was fun. Thanks so much for being here. Take a peek at the program. Link down below. You know where it is at this point. I appreciate you being here. No more market update until Monday. So have a nice weekend.